this is Megan from Bath Garden Center. Today's video I want to talk about harvesting. It's coming around that time where you're going to want to start pulling your fruit from your plants. So we're going to talk about how to know when your fruits and vegetables are ready to get harvested. So it's important to pay attention to the proper date that you can start harvesting your plants. A lot of vegetables are going to have different harvesting dates, and some of them are going to want to be picked, when they're a little more premature and not quite at that mature stage. For those instances, it's because the fruit tastes better at that point, being just a little premature. A lot of times when you leave a fruit on your plant and you haven't harvested it, but it's past its harvesting date, it can really start declining in flavor, in texture, in all sorts of ways of the fruit. So it's important to pay attention to your plant, what it's looking like, and research about when it's a proper time to harvest. Something to indicate that your plant is ready to be harvested is you can kind of tell by the size or by the color. For example, for a lot of hot peppers and different kinds of peppers that you can plant, they'll start changing color. You'll notice them from like green color to a red color, or sometimes they kind of do half and half. The green is going to be a little bit more premature, and it's going to be a little bit more of a milder flavor. But once it starts transitioning from green to red, that's going to be something that is more spicy at that point. It's at the prime of its spiciness, so it can change a lot. So it does really affect, your fruit when you start harvesting things. People also will leave a lot of their fruit on the plant for a long period of time, thinking that it's something that you harvest all at once they're all full grown, but that's not the case. You're going to want to harvest as the fruit develops. When harvesting, it's more recommended to use like scissors or something that'll nicely cut your fruit or your plant to harvest it. So you want to try something like scissors. It makes it easier for your plant to kind of repair and keep pushing more energy to the rest of the plant. So that's another important reason why you'd want to harvest when it's produced your fruit at the proper maturity level, because it's going to keep putting energy towards that, and it's not necessarily needing to put energy towards something that's not even going to taste good. So make sure you're harvesting and make sure that you're doing something to harm the plant less in the process of harvesting your vegetables. When harvesting leafy plants, you want to start from the outside rather than the inside. So cut the foliage all from around it, and so you're gonna want to leave the middle alone. That's where it's kind of storing a lot of energy and gonna produce new growth throughout the rest of the plant. So it's kind of a sensitive spot. I mean, if you want a head of lettuce, you can definitely cut the whole thing out. It just might not grow again, but you could definitely do that and then just harvest from the outside in. So different plants are going to have different times when they, reach their maturity. Some of them are going to have like 90 days. Some of them are going to be a little quicker. A lot of your cool crops are going to be a little quicker, like your lettuces and those kinds of things, over a tomato that's going to take more of like a 90-day period of growing before it can be harvested. So pay attention to your seed packets, or do some research a little bit and kind of see approximately how many days to harvest. So there are a lot of tools that you can use to help you in figuring out what plants you can plant during a certain time, when to start harvesting, how many days it's going to take to harvest. One of our tools that you can use, we have a planner guide for gardening, vegetables, and those kinds of things, and it will go through all these different kinds of vegetables, what their average last frost date is in our area, what you can plant when is going to be a good time to harvest. So these are really useful tools in helping you with your vegetable garden from the very start to the very end of it. So if you need a little extra help or need a little bit more guidance, these tools are very helpful. Well, that's it for our harvesting video. If you have any questions at all about plants or harvesting, please give us a call or email us. We're more than happy to help. So we're going to talk about when you need to start picking your fruit. Is that what what we days day amount that you're gonna want to look or
You might have started a little.
Just
Right
the plant to harvest. Approximately how many days to maturation? Approximately how many days to its maturation? Approximately how many days to harvest?